You want to make more money, and chances are you're doing that by working harder, working more, putting in better effort, 10xing. Well, guess what? What if I told you that you could do it in a little bit smarter way without overwhelming yourself? And believe me, I'm not a math guy, and if you've been following along on the channel, you've seen or maybe dropped in the comments all the math errors that I've made. And you'll notice, by the way, I don't do on-the-fly math anymore because it ends up with me having to reshoot a video. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make more money by tracking these numbers or these KPIs. And I want to say thank you to a YouTube subscriber who dropped a comment saying, hey, what numbers should I be tracking? What KPI should I track? I get overwhelmed by this stuff. Well, guess what? I'm going to simplify it. And this video is really perfect for everyone in roofing sales. Brand new folks joining it, welcome to the industry, by the way. I know there's quite a few of you here, along with, let's say, owners and managers. These are the numbers that you want to help hold your team accountable to and get really clear so you can help drive performance. More on that in a little bit. And then seasoned reps. Many of you are tuning in because you're sharp people. You're looking to sharpen the sales axe and find any competitive edge, and you know that whether it's from me, whether it's from someone else on YouTube, or reading a book or seeing a seminar, listening to podcasts, all it takes is that one little nugget that you grab, and when you apply it, that's the beauty of sales. You apply it, we change what we do, we change what we say, and we start stroking ourselves like $5,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month, bigger checks because of being able to improve personally. So I'm glad to have you here. Now, KPIs stand for Key Performance Indicators. And I look at this a little bit non-traditionally. And it's engineered, in my mind, and the way I've practiced this, is to get emotional buy-in and also to fine-tune the areas that I see are going to help us move the needle so we can do what we all want to do, which is predictably make good money. Pretty simple. And I can't wait to get to it. Hey, welcome or welcome back. My name is Adam Bensman, the Roof Strategist, and I'm really glad to have you here. Everything I do here on the YouTube channel and the podcast is designed to help you and your team smash your income goal and give every customer an amazing experience. And we're going to start doing that right now. So, making more money by tracking these numbers. Let's get to it. First and foremost, I want to talk with the simple numbers because we got to start simpler and then go a little bit more complex. The first one is tracking your average commission. And by the way, as silly as this may sound, I ask people sometimes, what's your average commission? Most people can't even tell me. In fact, I was just speaking at an event and I looked to a table, there's a team, there's multiple companies in the room. I said, what's an average commission? And the owner said, this guy just made $8,000 on his last sale. And I said, that's great. We've all had those wins, but we can't always project, and salespeople have this tendency, oh, well, it's $8,000. Usually the number we think it is isn't right. It's usually higher. So what I'm talking about on an average commission is all of your customers, okay, that you've ever had with your income on top. Income divided by number of customers, there's your average commission. Boom. Done. All right. Now, if you have these outliers, like let's say you had a six-figure commission on a commercial property or an HOA, pull that one out. You want to look at these from the residential side or commercial side. By knowing that average commission, you're going to be able to reverse engineer some plans, which we'll get to in a minute. Next thing that you want to track is your close rate. And by the way, one last note on the average commission. If you're new in the industry, this is the easiest one to get from speaking to other sales reps and or the owner managers to figure out what that average commission is. Close rate. All right. You want to know your close rate. And by the way, I hear numbers all across the board from some of the largest companies in America with a documented 27-ish% close rate. And I have other companies in smaller markets that are less competitive that have a documented 70 to 80% close rate. And in fact, some of them up to 86%. And I can't really give a blanket because it depends on whether it's storm, whether it's retail, how competitive your market is, where your leads come from. Are you knocking doors or are you buying leads from telemarketers? Because all of these will have a different close rate. And sometimes some of the bigger companies, they have a lower close rate, but they also have a way more diverse avenues of generating leads. So my best opinion, don't worry about what other people do. All you need to worry about is what you do and how you can get better at doing that and use yourself as the measure. is the base measurement. Because it doesn't matter if they're at 80% and you're at 30, because if you're at 30 and you go to 40, you make a whole bunch more money without changing much else. If you're at 30 and go to 60, you just doubled in sales. So don't worry about what other people do, but you need to know your close rate. And I want to define this real quick, because I hear it a lot. Well, do I count this as a lead? Do I count this if they decided to wait a lead? Here's what I say. If they're a qualified person, meaning they have a roof that could indeed get replaced, whether it's storm or retail, and you ran the sales appointment, it is a lead. That's how I look at leads. Did I show up at the house, and could they have possibly hired us? And don't give yourself, well, that's an exception and that's an exception. For the sake of this, there are laws of averages. We just want to say, did I show up? Were they qualified? If so, they count. And then you can say, out of 10 appointments, I close X amount. There's your percentage. All right. Next number to track. If you're knocking doors, this is your knock to deal. All right. Now, the reason that this number is so important is this is going to be the most unique to your market. I have some folks, and I hate when I see people on the internet, for every 5 doors I knock, I get a sale. I gotta call nonsense on that. Can that happen? Without a doubt. In fact, I went out, one of the last companies I trained, I remember we went out knocking doors, and I went from observing to being the person doing the training, and I went 3 for 3. Now, can I expect that I'm going to go 3 for 3 every single day I go out? Of course not. There's going to be people not home. People that simply answer the door and say, get the F off my property. We always have rejection. It's sales. Now, again, just because you can do that, and many seasoned people, by the way, I know once you're in that neighborhood are going to do it, that's not a blanket average. So out of all the doors you knock, whether they are home, not home, don't answer, kick you off, you just need to have that metric. How many doors did it take me to knock to get a deal? And all that matters is what that number looks like for you in your market, with your competition, with the type of sale you're doing. All right. This, again, paired with the close rate and the average commission, you can see we're shaping up to be able to develop a true daily sales plan around this. And speaking of this, in my program, the Roofing Sales Success Formula, the first thing that I help you or your team do is to develop a daily sales plan, and it is built 100% around your income goal. So we can take your income goal, your average commission, your close rate, and how many knocks per deal. And I share the metrics that have worked for me, and you get a daily plan. So I can say, hey, you want to earn this amount of money. I break it into a 9-month selling season. And not only do I give you the obvious things that anyone can reverse engineer, but I can give you the metrics that have worked for me and thousands of others to say, this is what type of sales activities you should be doing. How many doors to knock, letters to send, letters to leave, cold calls to make, all that stuff kind of on those average touches to getting a contact, to getting a deal. So by managing this, whether you're using my stuff or whether you're generating your own, you can then predictably change what you do. Because if you know your close rate, I get in front of more people, therefore more sales come, right? I know predictably if I'm at a 50% close rate and I get in front of 10 more people per month, I'm going to get 5 more deals that month. It's predictable. Same thing if I know how many knocks to a deal, I can say, hey, if I can get out and knock X number of doors this weekend, I should be able to generate this number of deals. And again, predictability is really what it is all about. Now, I want to move a little bit outside the norm on the next 2. And the next one here is managing or documenting your actual time worked. Now, this is crazy. I know. You're like, but I'm in sales. All that matters is my results. And I agree. But I've been guilty of this, and I shared you this before. I've spent significant amounts of days doing these little sprints where I track my time. I run the stopwatch on my watch, and I say, all right, I'm checking email, and boom, start, and I go do my thing, pause it, record the time. All right, now I'm making sales calls, start, go, sales calls, stop, done. Now I'm responding to social media comments, go, stop, done. And what I found is that when things get measured, they get managed. And instead of getting those distractions, because let's face it, if you're in sales, chances are you either have self-proclaimed ADD, you've been diagnosed ADD, or you suffer severely with ADHD. This is why we're in sales. It's so common, almost everyone I talk to. And that's one of the reasons I talk so fast. All right, keep everyone's attention, because I teach the same way I need to be taught. So when we start managing that time, we begin to be aware of it. With awareness comes change. So we begin to realize the leaks, the Facebook, the Instagram. I don't have Facebook or Instagram notifications. I don't know when I get them. Why? Because I want to check them on my time, not when the dings go off. All right. So managing the time worked you're going to see, especially one more story. I've been there too. You get overwhelmed. You end up saying, hey, I can go out and start my day a little later. Well, you feel like you're working all this time, but you realize that the busyness you had, maybe you dropped the kids at school, you ran an errand, you felt like you were working, but you were really getting an oil change or fixing a flat tire. So when we actually manage our time worked, we get very clear on where that time is going. Again, really important to make sure that you're putting your time into the proper, which is the next category, the proper sales activities. All right, now, this is the last category to monitor. And why is that? Let's get into this. In the program of mine, it's called the Complete Sales Strategy. It's the area where you're going to get that daily sales plan. You get the list, the daily plan around the sales activities you need to be doing. Owners, managers, pay close attention. Because the first thing that I teach in my sales leadership training, it's a newer training that is part of the system now, is to simply ask a very basic question with the team. Are you doing your sales activities every day? And sales people, you can ask yourself, am I doing the right activities? And if you're not doing the activities and you're not getting the results, what's a smart person going to tell you? Just do the activities and remeasure. It's like, did you lose weight this week? No. Okay. Did you stick to the meal plan? No. Did you stick to the workout routine? No. All right. Why would I tell you anything else other than the obvious? You're not going to lose weight till you do this. Sales is no different. So when you actually manage the activities, how many doors you've knocked, how many direct mail letters you've sent, how many cold calls you've made, how many networking events you've attended, how many insurance agents or the customers you serve did you connect with? Now you can literally just track this every week on a scorecard and you can say, oh, I'm not really on track to hit my income goal. I just got to do these things. And likewise, this becomes the benchmark, owners and managers, for coaching your team for peak performance, because sales is like a staircase and we don't skip steps. We start here, we end here. Every single person, sales, business, same by the way, we get stuck on a step. So all we need is the coach to learn how to get our foot up to that next step. It doesn't matter what happens up here. Owners, managers, same applies to you. Salespeople, if you're not getting the sales, the first thing you have to do is do the activities. After that, then we can work through what needs to happen. So again, I want you to just start tracking these numbers and start thinking about these numbers. What's an average commission? What's my average close rate? How many doors do I have to knock to get a deal? How much time am I actually working? Don't count drive around time, car wash time, busy work. That's not working. Okay? If you had a salary job, you're not doing that during business hours. That's off business hours. And then again, the last thing is your sales activities. If you're interested, again, I provide a lot of this to you. I shouldn't say a lot of it. I provide all of it to you, including all the marketing material to use and all that with the daily plan for you and every member of the team. And that's in the package called the Roofing Sales Success Formula. There's a link in the video and podcast description. And should you be interested in learning more, I invite you. You can call or text our office at 303-222-7133. That's 303-222-7133. And again, by you tracking these numbers, you as a salesperson are going to optimize your day-to-day life. You're going to have crystal clarity on the path you need to take to get to that income goal, because you know how many roofs it's going to take. You know how many doors you need to knock to get the deals. You know what your close rate is, and it becomes predictable. So now instead of just working hard and hoping for the best, which is what most people do, and many people end up quitting or leaving the industry because they didn't make it, instead of this mystery, you literally just have the plan. Did I do it this week? And this will help you fine-tune and continually optimize your performance. And frankly, this is at the root of all high-performing teams. So thanks for being here with me today. And just because our time is up doesn't mean your and my time has to. If you haven't done it, click here to download a free copy of my Pitch Like a Pro Roofing Sales Training video library to see every video I've ever done organized by category. Or you can jump into the next video by clicking right here. We'll see you soon.